Gentlemen, if you think you can't satisfy her because your erection isn't what it used to be, you're wrong. I'm Julia Rhodes, sexual health specialist, and I'm about to show you how to give her the best sex of her life, regardless of what's happening below the belt. Here's what most men over 60 get wrong. They think satisfying a woman is all about penetration and lasting forever. So when ED shows up, when performance anxiety kicks in, when things don't work the way they used to, they panic. They avoid intimacy. They assume it's over. But here's the truth from someone who works with men your age every single day. The guys who satisfy women completely aren't always the ones with rock-hard erections. They're the ones who understand what actually creates pleasure for her. Today, I'm breaking down 3 things that will make you better in bed than 90% of men, even if you're dealing with erectile issues, performance anxiety, or age-related changes. And the best part? Most men have no idea about any of this. Let's dive in. Here's what's actually happening when you can't get or maintain an erection. Your sympathetic nervous system is in overdrive. You're in fight or flight mode. And guess what? You cannot have an erection when your body thinks you're being chased by a bear. Performance anxiety, stress about not performing, worrying about her judgment. All of this floods your system with cortisol and adrenaline. Blood flow goes to your muscles and away from your penis. This is biology, not failure. But here's what most men don't realize. Her arousal works the same way. If she senses your anxiety, if she feels your tension, if your body is rigid with worry, her nervous system responds. She can't relax. She can't get aroused. You're both stuck. The solution? Learn to downregulate. Deep breathing. Slowing down, getting out of your head and into your body. When you're calm, when you're present, when you're not performing but connecting, everything changes. I teach men a simple technique. Before any intimacy, spend 60 seconds doing deep belly breathing together. 4 counts in, 6 counts out. This signals safety to both nervous systems. It's not romantic, but it works. A regulated nervous system beats a hard erection every single time when it comes to creating real pleasure for her. Gentlemen, here's a fact that will change everything. Most women over 50 do not orgasm from penetration alone. Studies show 70 to 80% of women need clitoral stimulation to climax. Your penis? It's optional for her pleasure. But most men don't know how to use anything else. They see sex as get hard, penetrate, finish. That's not sex. That's one narrow definition that leaves most women unsatisfied. What actually satisfies her? A man who knows how to use his fingers with intention. Who understands where the clitoris actually is and how much pressure she likes. Who's patient enough to use his mouth and doesn't rush through it like it's a chore. Here's what I tell men. Spend 20 minutes focusing entirely on her pleasure with your hands and mouth. Don't worry about your erection. Don't even think about penetration. Just learn her body. Pay attention to what makes her breath change, what makes her hips move. And here's the beautiful irony. When you stop obsessing about your erection and start focusing on her pleasure, your performance anxiety drops. And guess what often comes back? Your erection. But by then, you won't even need it because you've already figured out how to satisfy her completely. Your whole body is a sexual organ. Start using it that way. Most men avoid conversations about sex because they're embarrassed. They don't want to admit they're struggling. They don't want to ask what she actually likes. So they fake confidence, hope for the best, and wonder why she's not satisfied. Here's what women over 50 want. A man who can have an honest conversation, who can say, I'm dealing with some performance issues, but I'm committed to your pleasure. Who can ask, what feels good for you, without his ego collapsing. This isn't weakness. This is maturity. And it's incredibly attractive. When you can talk openly about sex, everything improves. She can tell you what she actually wants instead of you guessing. You can try new things together. You can navigate ED or other issues as a team instead of you suffering in silence. One client told me, the moment I stopped pretending everything was fine and just told her I was struggling, everything changed. She wasn't disappointed. She was relieved I was finally being real. Communication removes the performance pressure. It creates partnership. And partnership creates way better sex than performance ever could. So there it is. Regulate your nervous system, use your whole body, and communicate like an adult. These 3 things will make you better in bed than most men, regardless of your erection quality. ED and performance anxiety are fixable, but even while you're working on them, you can still satisfy her completely. You just need to expand your definition of what sex actually is. If you want the specific techniques, exactly how to regulate your nervous system, the precise ways to use your hands and mouth, the biology behind lasting longer, subscribe to this channel. I break down real solutions every single week. Comment below. What's your biggest challenge in the bedroom right now? Let's talk about it. I'm Dr. Julia Rhodes, and I'll see you on the next one.